Throws one.
You're live.
Intercepted. House call from Major Burns.
Yeah, some highlights from last week of the Red River rivalry, the LSU, and that pick six there late in that one, all courtesy of ESPN. And joining us now on the Right to the Guest line here on Fox Sports 910 is Erik Moses. Erik, Rocket Minuch, what's going on? How are you?
Couple of things. First, you guys got me blushing with that lead-in. You got a recorded lead-in for me. I'm feeling like a superstar, so I love that.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And secondly, this slacker Manuch finally came back from vacation, is working again.
Well,
and
that's
back
actually
on the radio with
well.
us?
I'm so happy you said that because we're gonna make a promo. It was actually Rock, that's me, who was gone for 2 weeks at the Ryder Cup. So, Minuch, which you just blasted, Erik, that's good stuff, Erik. That's why I wear the yellow jacket and he doesn't.
Erik, come on, man. Like my QBs, that's 50 push-ups and 50 sit-ups for that air right there, man.
I'll do it.
That's good
I
stuff.
need to do them anyway. I'll do it. You got it.
Like I tell my
I'm so
QB.
excited to talk to you guys. Man, I just got back from Iowa State, as we talked about last week, and as I think Jimmy V told me last week, I would not be disappointed by the tailgate, and he was right.
Yeah, Iowa State does it right. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be a team liaison with them when they were here for the Insight Bowl many years ago. And Paul Rhodes was the head coach, and you know their athletic director is one of the best in the business, and they just they really do things right there. It was cool that they got the award this past week. And where are you heading this weekend?
Oh, I'm here this weekend and looking forward to our Fiesta Bowl Friday night showdown with Notre Dame and Higley this evening. So I'm going to get by there and see some high school football played in the Valley. So I'm excited about that and super excited about this Washington-Oregon game. My goodness, I can't wait for it to get teed up and kicked off tomorrow for that game. It's some of the best quarterback play in the country in that one.
You know, you look week 7 and you know, there's so many must-watch games, and you bring up that Oregon-Washington game, and I love the fact that it's 12:30 on ABC. You know, the fact that it's the middle of the day, it's not towards the end of the day where, unfortunately, some of the Pac-12 games get kind of buried. But this one, 2 undefeated teams, it can't get any better than that, Erik.
No, it's going to be fantastic, and you know, right now I think most people have Penix as the favorite to win the Heisman. Certainly, if his team continues to win, I think that's probably right. Caleb will continue to do good things. I think all of us are scratching our head and wondering when USC's defense is going to show up and give them a better chance to have some more resounding wins.
You know, I tell you what you bring up is showcase days for these quarterbacks. And to your point, you have Caleb Williams, Bo Nix against Penix, as you said. But if there's one of those highlight games during a year, you separate, this kid had this game here and this game here. There's some benchmarks, I feel, for those guys that win the Heisman this weekend for all 3 of those quarterbacks happens to fall in the same weekend.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think we may look back and go, that was where someone separated themselves from the pack in terms of stepping up and doing big game things in big games, right?
And on top of that, you look at the rebound, if you will, of Miami at North Carolina and that horrible mistake by Mario Cristobal to not kneel down and run the clock out, and Miami loses that. But talk about a bounce-back game against North Carolina and Mac Brown. That might be extremely tough mentally to overcome what they had to do in that loss last week against Georgia Tech.
Well, I certainly hope so. As a homer for my heels, I certainly hope that's the case. You know, we need – our quarterback is pretty darn good himself, and Drake May. We're happy to have him come back this year. We've got Tez Walker. Finally, the NCAA cleared him for that second transfer, and he had a couple catches last week. So I'm hoping that my boys will show themselves to be the kind of team that warrants the ranking that they have right now.
Erik Moses joining us, CEO of the Verbo Fiesta Bowl and Guaranteed Rate Bowl here on Rock Minuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. We are getting closer to the selection process, to the first round of the polls in regards to the selection of the bowl games. I believe it's the last week of October. What are bowl people doing right now? Just trying to kind of get ready for that, and then once that first poll comes out, what then goes into it? What's the direction from then?
Yeah, I mean, We're all waiting to see what happens, see how close these rankings are based on the teams that are included, especially in that top, call it really the top 5 or 6, right? Because they're, given that there are championship games that are yet to be played at the end of the year, that can affect who makes the 4, the semifinal that we have. So we're all taking a look and seeing what movement there will be up there. I've seen some pretty interesting predictions even this early for the Fiesta Bowl. I saw one the other day that had Washington and Oregon, and I thought, wow, that's interesting, and that would be a hell of a game for us to have out here. I've seen one that was Washington and Tulane. We'll see how that goes, but we're just excited, and all of us. The great thing is, man, we're college football fans too, so we're nervous about it. We're looking at it and trying to figure out like what's going to be the best matchup that's going to help fill the stadium, et cetera. But it's fun to watch and to see all of this stuff kind of lay out in front of us and transpire. And all I'd say to your listeners is, regardless of who we have in our games, and that's both of our games, you're going to see some top-level college football here in the Valley towards the end of the year.
And for the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, if my Cats keep losing, they might be a candidate for that Guaranteed Rate Bowl, losing 2 in a row. And that's just not like them. But they got Texas Tech this weekend. So it's looking at some of those other teams, the next tier down kind of teams, Eric, when you look at some of those other teams, good programs, struggling a little bit if they can limp in at 7-5 or 6-6, that type of thing, that'll make it a worthwhile game to be seen on top of it.
I think that's right. I'm looking at one of the predictions right now for Guaranteed Rate. They're showing Texas Tech versus Michigan State. Big name programs, ones that have had some real success as of late, and a great opportunity for those of us here in the Valley to see some of these name brand programs play in our game as they get ready for next year and hoping to have even more success in the 24 season. So, look, it's going to be a big deal. That game, I think, is special because we play it in Chase Field, which hopefully will still be dripping with energy and excitement from what our D-backs are doing on the baseball side of things. And so just a great story for the Valley and for all of us who care about sports here.
Got another minute or two with Eric Moses, the Fiesta Bowl here on Rock and Manucci, Jimmy B. I want to talk about one of my favorite events that the Fiesta Bowl puts on every year, and that's the PNC Fiesta Bowl Part 3 Challenge at Mountain Shadows. This is such a great event for those of you that love golf, and I want to ask you, because I have been out of the country, are there any I know I'm signed up with our friends at Lerner and Rowe, Kevin Rowe, as you know, and Kevin's going to join us right after you. Are there any foursomes left? Are there spots? Is there anything left for this great event?
We do have limited availability for foursomes for that fantastic challenge. I love that golf course. When you play golf the way I do, not having to pick out anything bigger than a 5 is always appreciated. So I love it, and we're so happy that Kevin and his team over there are supporting us in that and in our parade and the other things that they do at Lerner and Rowe. So PNC Part 3 Challenge is going to be fantastic. People should come out. The weather will be great. We've got prizes on every hole. And who knows, if you're really good with sticks, you may end up winning $1 million.
Yeah, what about that? Fiestabowl.org. Check that out. And Eric, I was just told by Manucci that you're going to make an appearance. They're going to let you out of the office and come down here to Wright Toyota and hang out with us for a half hour or so and talk some college football next Friday.
If you will have me, I will be there. I look forward to hanging out with you guys and talking college football. I'd love to get down there. And, yes, I'm not going to be on an airplane next weekend, so I will be with you guys.
And this is Manucci. You're on thin ice, but I still love you, brother. I still love you, my man.
I'll make it up to you, I promise.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Eric, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Okay, guys. Appreciate you.
That's the CEO of the Verbo Fiesta Bowl and Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Eric Moses, great guy. Hopefully, if you've not met Eric yet, great guy. Has been brand new in that role for this past year. So good to have him again. Guaranteed Rate Bowls on December 26th at the Bank, Chase Field, and the Verbo Fiesta Bowls on January 1st at State Farm Stadium. Fiestabowl.org for tickets. Coming up, as you just heard, Kevin Rowe will join us as we'll do our pick'em contest.